Let me show you a couple of camera tips and tricks for POCO X8 Pro and Pro Max. The first thing that I want to show you is the voice shutter. So if we go to camera settings, in here in the photo tab we can go to the shutter type, and in here you can toggle the audio option. Of course, this option is only available in some languages, at least in English. I'm not sure what other languages are supported, but of course you can check that out on your phone if you use a different language on your phone. And with this option enabled, you can say cheese out loud in order to capture a photo, as you can see on this video. Definitely worth using feature. This allows you to easily capture a photo without having to touch the phone. Speaking of which, there is also the palm shutter option, which allows you to show hand in order to start the countdown. Let's see, there we go, it works now. So we can just show the hand to the camera, and then the phone is going to start the timer, after which the camera app is going to take a photo for us. So this is very helpful for selfie videos if you use something like a, I don't know, like a selfie stick or something, and you don't really want to use the shutter button over here or something, or if you want to keep the distance and if you want to set up the phone for yourself. Alright, now besides that, we can also go back to settings in order to find a couple of other additional helpful features, like for example over here in the video section we have HDR10+ for video recording. So this allows you to simply record videos using HDR10+ or HDR10. And in addition to that, in audio settings, you can find smart noise reduction, which allows you to reduce the impact of wind on recorded audio while shooting videos. So if you tend to record videos quite a bit, and if you are annoyed, or if you just want to improve the audio of your videos, then of course this is pretty much a must-have, something that you probably definitely want to enable. We are going to stay in the camera settings for a little bit longer, because over here we can find a couple of more options that are worth mentioning. For example, over here we have screensaver option, which is very useful for those who tend to record long videos, and this will definitely help you save the battery, because this screensaver allows you to simply put the display to sleep and keep recording. Of course, this might be unuseful for those who just always want to see what is going on the camera. So of course, in that case, that is probably not the desired option. So depending on which side you are on, you might want to just simply toggle this option. Other than that, we can also find the shutter sound section, where we can change the shutter sound of our camera, so the sound that the camera makes when we take a photo. Besides using the standard sound, you can choose one of these three additional options. Of course, the shutter sound itself can also be toggled in here by tapping on this switcher. Now, also we have the volume buttons function, which is something very simple and something that is available on pretty much every smartphone. But this setting allows you to decide what should be done when you use volume buttons. And by default, if you use a volume button in the camera, then you start a timer. You can also use it to just simply take a photo immediately. You can also press and hold in order to use a burst shot or record 15-second video instead. But I think one of the better options is actually the zoom option. So this allows you to just quickly adjust the zoom by using volume buttons. So I think it's very handy, very helpful to have the zoom option available pretty much right on your hand, so you can just simply slightly move your hand up in order to start recording, or if you don't want to keep doing the pinching gesture, I guess, this can be of course much more convenient. Now over here, we're gonna go back to the camera itself, and if you, for example, switch to the front camera, here we have two tips that I want to show you. The first one is this light bulb, which allows you to add more light while taking a selfie photo. So if you feel like the photo is too dark while using the front camera, you can immediately add light over here. Of course, there's also the automatic option, which activates when you take a photo and the camera detects that your photo might need to use more light. Also here in the bottom right corner, we have this wand icon where we can find filters and the beautify effect. And of course, both of these options are available for the rear camera as well. However, in this case, the beautify effect is actually very simple. It's just a simple slider, whereas when using the front camera, here we have a couple of options, like for example, we can apply a smooth skin, we can adjust the tone, contour, makeup, we have the slender, head size, and so on and so forth. As you can see, the list is quite long, the list of all of these different options. Of course, you can remove the filter, this beautify effect, by choosing the original option over here. Also, remember that you can easily adjust the brightness or exposure of the photo by tapping on this button on the left side. Here we can just move left and right to quickly change the brightness on your photo. If you wish your photos would have more pixels, I guess, if you would like to take photos that have higher resolution, then it is definitely possible to do so by simply going to this additional menu, which we can access by using this arrow at the top, or you can just swipe down on the camera preview, and you should be able to find the photo resolution option. Over here we can switch to 50 megapixels. This option is also available in the Pro mode. Over here we should be able to find the 12.5mm at the top, which we can switch to 50 megapixels. While we are in the Pro mode, here we can also find a couple of very cool stuff that are worth mentioning. For example, here in the upper right corner we can switch between the JPG format and the RAW format, so those who like to edit their photos, then of course they are definitely going to love the RAW format or the option, and the fact that this option is available. However, when using the JPG format, over here on the left side we have additional parameters that we can use, like for example we can adjust the contrast, saturation, sharpness, and so on and so forth. Also, we have presets for the Pro mode. Over here on the right side we have our parameter presets. So if you have like a couple of parameter settings that you tend to use quite often, that you tend to go back to, then instead of switching back and forth all the time, you can just simply save as presets. So then you can just go to this menu over here and you can choose whichever preset you want to use. These presets are also shareable, so if you tap on these three dots in the upper right corner, then we have this square with an arrow, or rectangle with an arrow, and over here we can share our preset with other people. Now, those who receive the zip file with the preset, they can press this plus button over here, and then here we have this import button which we can use. Over here we can also create a new preset as well, so once you set up all your parameters you can easily save it into a preset over here. And the good thing is that these presets are generally speaking available for many Xiaomi related smartphones, so Xiaomi, POCO and Redmi smartphones. If they do have these if they do have Pro mode on the first place, they probably also have parameter presets, although I'm not sure if every single Xiaomi, POCO or Redmi smartphone, if they have the presets menu, but those newer models from 2015 onwards, maybe even 2024, sorry, from 2025, not from 2015, from 2025 or maybe even 2024 onwards, they probably have these presets, so of course we can share between them. Now, besides that, also we have Google Lens, which is actually available here in the photo mode at the top, but I actually moved it, so in my case it is here in this menu. I'm gonna also show you in a second how we can actually navigate this layout. But generally speaking, Google Lens is also a great feature that allows you to use the camera in order to search for something. So if you found something like a, I don't know, like a maybe like a certain object, maybe there is like a text or something, like maybe poster, whatever, you can just simply use the shutter button over here and start searching in Google with your camera. We can also use photos, so if you have like, if you've taken some photos, you can of course use them as well. But in addition to that, we have the translate option as well. So if you have a text that is written in a foreign language, like maybe instructions, or maybe you are somewhere abroad, maybe you are traveling and you need some help with the translations, there is some information that you need to translate, and of course this is very, very helpful in that specific case. You can just simply point at the text in order to get the translation, or you can use the shutter button in order to take the picture, and then the text is going to be translated as well. And I I believe that is pretty much all that I wanted to show you. If you think that there is... oh, actually, sorry, there's one more thing. I mentioned about the layout, that I edited the layout. So just to show you how to do that, you just have to press and hold your finger on any of these elements in this menu. So if you press and hold your finger, then you can start adjusting and customizing the layout. So you can just drag all of these additional features to the top panel over here, or you can drag something from the top panel into the menu. So if you wish to, you can also reorganize, of course, you can change the order and so on and so forth. If you wish to have the motion button over here on the left side, in the upper left side instead of the right side, then of course you can easily do so. And there we go. So definitely very convenient that we can customize the layout and adjust it to our needs. But now I think that's definitely everything that I wanted to show you. Now, if there is something that I missed that I didn't mention in this video and you think it should have been mentioned, then please let me know in the comments. And if you're watching this video, you can of course check out comments. Maybe you can find some additional tips mentioned by other people. So that's pretty much it. And also, if you're looking for guides for POCO X8 Pro or Pro Max, then be sure to check out my channel. I made a bunch of video tutorials for these two phones, so be sure to check that out if you need help. Leave a like and subscribe.